Hey, I'm Renee, and today we're going to talk about cinema. In order to do so, we need to define it. We could say that it's the process to animate images. The movies that cinema creates are related by their context, but also by the techniques used for their realization. Paris Cinémathèque offers us a back-in-time perspective to focus on cinema's techniques through Henri Langlois' private collection. The Cinémathèque teaches us that techniques' evolution wasn't linear. It was a multiplicity of inventions that influenced each other's. We will illustrate three different technologies: the camera obscura, the magic lantern, and the kinetoscope. The camera obscura permitted for the first time to obtain an image thanks to optic principles. The oldest written tracks go back to the 5th century before Christ in China. It was used by painters to decal or do portraits. Nowadays cinemas remind me of this dark chamber. Today, the magic lantern is known to be an illegal program to improve Canon's cameras. But back in the 19th century, the magic lantern permitted to project painted images. These projections were public and took place in theaters. This way, cinema and entertainment became connected. As today, with the virtual reality, the movie type that works best is horror. At the time, Robertson used the magic lantern to create phantasmagoria. With this invention, directors like Robertson could not only project images but also modify them. To me, this modification represents the first special effects. The magic lantern was also used to teach, as we do today with overhead projectors in high school. It shows cinema's vocation to address to children. Toys attest that cinema became a material product. The images formed by movement decomposition are far from reality, but they demonstrate the necessity of decomposing movement through a precise frequency. After the invention of photography, Edison took back these principles and applied them to photos to create the kinetoscope. We should not limit the history of cinema's technical evolution to these three inventions, because if we think the cinema as 24 images per second, we could imagine it in other ways. What fascinates me about techniques history is to see how every invention was used in its own way, how each technique permitted to play with the concept of reality. To some thinkers, cinema should be only a demonstration of reality. André Bazin thinks that it's the automatic recording of reality that makes the cinema an art. Others think that spectators should remain aware of themselves watching a movie. Nowadays, many movies have the purpose of taking the spectator out of his life to bring him into the movie's reality. In order to do so, numerous technologies are employed. But we know now that the first cinema's techniques were also used to deform reality. It makes me think of the quarrel between painters and photographers about which one is more able to represent the movement in the 19th century. Today, as it has always been, cinema's technical inventions come from all sides and goes in every direction. Whether the thinkers agree or not with technology's uses, they will not stop this progress. Technologies became a business but also a new way to think the cinema and to receive it.